All right. If you guys will just mute your microphones, please, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. We are recording this webinar on the supplement line that doTERRA offers. My name is Jessica Beaver. I'm wellness advocate with doTERRA, and we're going to walk through what makes doTERRA supplements different from any other supplement on the market. We've sort of subtitled this presentation the Multivitamin Revolution because doTERRA seized a unique opportunity and embraced the latest science, and successfully they have created what we can call the most advanced multivitamin supplements in the world. They created a whole new way of formulating multivitamin products, along with the Daily Nutrient Pack and the Lifelong Vitality Pack, as well as some other supplements we're going to talk about. These are the first multivitamins developed in this way. One of the things that Karsten Smith talked about when he talked about the supplement line was that it was really formulated for the American diet. And one of their goals long-term as a company is to formulate supplements for various markets around the world. So knowing that the Japanese market, where doTERRA is up and coming and thriving, is very different. Their diet is very different from an American diet. Their goal is to reformulate a special Lifelong Vitality Pack, Daily Nutrient Pack for the Japanese market that caters to what they consume on a daily basis. So this is all going to be formulated for an American diet. So first of all, many of you know about this pyramid. If you've spent any time in a doTERRA group, we've talked about this wellness lifestyle. We're going to be focusing on this bottom portion of the wellness pyramid, and that's all about eating right, and that's what multivitamins do. They help us to eat right. Experts agree that everyone needs a multivitamin. Our diets fall short in meeting even the bare minimum requirements for many nutrients, and we're not getting our recommended daily allowances. That's what RDA stands for, recommended daily allowance. In the US, 9 out of 10 do not meet the RDAs for vitamin D and E, and over half of us don't meet the RDAs for vitamin A, calcium, and magnesium from our food. I'm going to just make sure everybody's muted here.
Baby.
Okay. All right, so a large USDA survey, a study of 21,500 people, showed that not a single person met the recommended daily allowances of all vitamins and minerals from their food alone. So a lot of people will say, I eat such a healthy diet, I don't need supplements, right? Like especially if you're someone who's really conscious about what you're eating, you may think that you don't need a multivitamin, but actually we all do. We like to think that because we believe in the natural goodness of healthy food, that we don't need anything extra. So I'm going to encourage you to keep eating healthy food, but I would like to submit this to you. Today's healthy foods are very different from the historic diets that we used to eat. For thousands of years, agricultural breeding has always had the goal of improving yield and taste. And since many micronutrients don't taste good, they have been inadvertently bred out of our food. This picture on the left are these ugly wild apples. And those have 100 times more phytonutrients and much more vitamin C than the apples that you can buy in the grocery store today. And if you were to go out and pick wild apples, if you've ever gone to an orchard and picked apples, you would see that they look nothing like the apples that you buy in the store. That's because we shop with our eyes. We don't shop with our taste buds often. And so you can see why healthy diets fail to meet these recommended daily allowances, and even less of those optimum micronutrient requirements. So how can you tell if you're vitamin deficient? Well, when we don't get optimum amounts of vitamins and minerals, We may deal with a lack of energy or fatigue, irritability, dull-looking hair, dry skin, weak bones, occasional achiness and joint discomfort, or a less than stellar immune system. In other words, we're not feeling good, and many of us don't even know what it feels like to feel great. That was certainly the case with me. Now when I forget to take my supplements, I can tell, usually not the day of, but a couple of days after, I'm like, man, I feel like a slug. And I recognize that's how I used to feel all the time. And now I don't. So who needs a multivitamin? Everybody. This is why experts agree that you should try to eat a healthy diet, high in fruits and vegetables, and take a multivitamin and mineral supplement. So the next question is, which supplement should you take? This is a very important question because multivitamins are not something you take occasionally as needed. They need to be taken every day, and they need to be the safest and most effective when taken over the course of your lifetime. So what do we want in a good multivitamin? We know today that for most micronutrients, the recommended daily allowances are not sufficient, and that optimum intakes are often higher. But how much higher? And can we get too many micronutrients? Those questions have kept scientists busy for the last 50 years, and recent research makes it clear that it's time to rethink our multivitamins. So my mom has been a supplement person my entire life. I grew up with my mom taking handfuls of vitamins. She looks much younger than she actually is, and she has great skin. And so I think all of those things are results of her always taking a really good multivitamin. But even she can attest that multivitamins have changed over the course of her lifetime. There was this version 1.0. This is a basic 1-a-day multivitamin. They've been around for over 60 years, and they've evolved. The first multivitamins hit the retail shelves in the 50s and 60s, and they remain a staple in today's retail and mass markets. So for the purpose of this webinar, we're going to call them version 1.0. These inexpensive products deliver the RDAs of most vitamins and lesser amounts of most minerals. Their ingredients are often poorly absorbed and utilized by the body, and they contain many artificial ingredients. Keep in mind, our bodies are not designed to absorb synthetic crap as nutrients. They are designed to draw our nutrients from food. Multivitamin 1.0 is not food. It's synthetic minerals that have been crafted in a lab. So then you have version 2.0. This is where in the 80s and 90s, it was suggested that above recommended daily allowances, amounts of certain nutrients have additional health benefits. And these studies paved the way to the current generation of comprehensive high-dose multivitamins. These products deliver nutrient dosages that are many times higher than what even the best diets could possibly deliver. They're popular in the specialty and direct sales markets. Competition in the multivitamin 2.0 market is fierce, and many companies are playing a horsepower game where more must be better, right? Because if synthetic crap was 1.0, then high doses of good quality stuff must be even better, right? Well, unfortunately, more is not better. As you can see on this bell curve, what we know in nature is that there's always bell-shaped relationships where initially at low nutrient intakes, more is better. And then you reach this plateau of optimum intakes. And then if you keep taking more and more and more, you'll begin to see negative effects. And ultimately, you'll have toxicity. There is no exception to this rule. Even water can kill you if you drink too much, right? So too much of a good thing is not a good thing, right? And you can maybe have experienced this with other multivitamins. I know that I have taken a variety in the past and always had a really upset stomach, and I never could just pinpoint why, but I could never take my supplements without getting an upset stomach. So recent research has shown for many vitamins that And in these are very large studies. They showed that the amounts of previously assumed safe turn out to cause some side effects when people take them for a very long period of time. These problems only happen at intakes many times above what one can get from healthy diets, like for decades. Interestingly enough, to date, the supplement industry is taking a defensive position. They're belittling or dismissing these studies. But doTERRA is not. They're taking those studies seriously because they know that there will be more of them. And the good news is that doTERRA has never believed in the more is better horsepower game. And they do the same thing with the oils. If you have been to any class, you know that less oil more often is better. And the same is going to be true for your supplements. So really right here on this bell curve, right in the middle, is optimal, and that's where you should be. We should be there, right on the top. That's easier said than done though, right? So since they have been studying lifelong safety and efficacy, scientists could spend hundreds of years in clinical studies and still not be sure. So is there a better way to find the optimum micronutrient intakes? Anytime we need to know more about our bodies, we should always look to nature, right? So doTERRA has used extensive research and developed what they are going to call version 3.0. doTERRA is naturally based multivitamins. They have optimum levels and they are unquestionably safe. So we're going to sit right there on the top of that bell curve, right where you're supposed to be. So you get that optimum benefit and safety. These next slides are the ones that kind of blew me away. So for a naturally balanced body, this chart shows what vitamins, what phytonutrients, what omega-3s that we need every day. The white zone is where we need to be to get optimum, naturally balanced levels of everything. So when you land in that white zone, that's where you achieve optimum micronutrient nutrition. That's in line with what your natural physiology and your genes tell you that you need. If you go above the white zone, you get into levels that you would never be able to get from a natural diet. These high levels are not physiological for the human body. It's not even good for you. There's no exception to that. When you get way above that white zone, it's just, you're going to get into levels of toxicity. When you get into levels below the white zone, you get less than optimum health benefits. And if you get real low, you run the risk of serious deficiencies and diseases. So this is optimum food intake if you're eating a really great diet. The recommended daily allowances if you were eating, like I said, a really great diet. Oh, I'm sorry, that's this slide. Just kidding. Okay, so those yellow bars are going to show how much we're getting from a typical US diet. We are really not doing well at all. We're very low in most micronutrients, and we are not in balance because we see a big difference between individual nutrients. That's why experts recommend that everyone should supplement with a multivitamin. All right, so let's see what happens when we supplement with these basic ones that we've talked about, that 1.0, 2.0, and then what doTERRA has. So the blue bars indicate the additional nutrients you get from a multivitamin. So that's better than some nutrients than previous because some of those are in that white zone, right? But it's still not optimum because you've created more imbalance. Ideally, everything should fall into that white zone. The other problem that's not shown on this graph is that cheap multivitamins also use cheap ingredients and are often not well absorbed by the body. So just looking at the amounts doesn't really tell the whole story. By the end of the day, taking a common multivitamin is of little benefit, and they certainly don't help you achieve a naturally balanced micronutrient intake. When I talk about these vitamins with people face to face, I really encourage people that if they are taking a one-a-day vitamin to go drop it into the toilet and leave it. In an hour, go back and check on it. Most of the time, the only change that's going to have happened is that pink or yellow or whatever color coating that they have on that vitamin will have drifted off. And what you will be left with is still a white pill. And I know that we have digestive acids in our stomachs, but honestly, many vitamins do not break down in the stomach. They pass on into the large intestine and then into the small intestine, large intestine, and they stay intact. And so we're really not absorbing the things that we think we're absorbing. All right, so this is going to be your average diet with those high-end multivitamins, that 2.0. You can see the supplement amounts here in red, and most of them are so high that they're clearly unnatural and potentially unhealthy. Also, this is a far cry from being a natural balance. Unfortunately, many people waste a lot of money on these supplements that are advertised as premium products. So let's look at what makes doTERRA different. So we're going to talk about both the Daily Nutrient Pack and the Lifelong Vitality Pack. These have been reformulated recently. They were reformulated last spring, so just about a year ago, and they completely updated the Microplex VMP, and they updated the Z Omega or XE Omega formula. When you put those two together, it's created the Daily Nutrient Pack. Both products use only the most potent natural bioavailable forms for each nutrient. So now we not only have the most natural nutrient types, we also have the most natural nutrient levels. So this is the same average diet. And then when you add the Daily Nutrient Pack, you can see that it puts most everyone into that white area. You're moved into the optimum zone, and we are restoring a natural balance. You know, everything is really falling into place. Nothing is too high, nothing is too low, just the natural optimum of everything. So for the very first time, you have a product that's giving you the naturally balanced amounts of each vitamin, mineral, trace element, phytonutrient, and omega-3. No less, no more. So let's move on. Let's talk about what each of these supplements does, okay? The Microplex VMP stands for multivitamin with polyphenols, or some people call it the MVP for most valuable player. Both are correct. This slide doesn't do the Microplex VMP justice, though. It's such an amazing product with so many features that I could really spend the rest of the webinar on this one portion, but I won't. The Microplex VMP provides the perfect natural balance of all vitamins, minerals, polyphenols your body needs. And we're using it absolutely, we're formulating it from absolutely the best and most natural nutrients that are easily absorbed and utilized by your body. No compromise. If you pull out your Microplex VMP and you look at the back of the bottle, and I thought I had one here. Let me grab one real quick. Did an office cleaning before this. I'm going to read you some of the ingredients that are in the Microplex VMP, okay? You can find all of these on doterratools.com. Look them up for yourself, but I want to read some of these things that are in here, okay? Are you ready for this? Kale, dandelion leaf powder, parsley, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. There's a bunch of other things. That has a tummy tamer portion in it that has ginger and peppermint and caraway. Those are actual words that you can pronounce. And we know that we get those nutrients from food because you are actually saying food names. So I just think it's really cool to be able to tell people, like, you're taking a whole food supplement, which means they've taken food, extracted out the nutrients into powder form, and then you get to eat it. They've also updated the Z Omega, okay? It's completely updated and now features a new marine omega-3 blend with more DHA and much more potent plant omega-3 blends. The only thing they didn't need to change was the certified pure therapeutic grade oils that are in there. And the new formula is all natural, and it's actually in a smaller capsule than the previous Z Omega. So if you have issues with capsule size, that will help as well. It does have 9 essential oils in it, and I want to talk about those real quick. Let me flip to that page. It has clove bud, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile. This is your powerhouse for joint and muscle issues, if you have any occasional discomfort in your joints. This is also your powerhouse for skin health. It's going to really help your skin, your hair. It's also great for cognitive function. This is what I really think is helped diminish a lot of the brain fog that I have, is this Z Omega, because it just really gives your body all of the optimal DHA and nutrition that you need. So let's talk about EPA and DHA and the health benefits. So you can read this for yourself. Your general well-being, you need all of these things. Even as a prenatal vitamin, this would suffice. So I just want to encourage you that if you are pregnant or you know someone who's pregnant who has been taking Lifelong Vitality or the Daily Nutrient Pack, they do not have to stop. Most people will need, in their first trimester, your OB might suggest that you add in folic acid or folate. But aside from that, it provides all of the nutrients that your body needs in that first trimester. They're sourcing the fish oil now from Norway. It's been tested for over 250 contaminants. And both of the oils are certified sustainable, which means they're not going to run out of fish in that area. Now, if you are vegan, there is also a vegan option. You can order a vegan option for this as well. So the two of those together, the Z Omega and the Microplex VMP, those are called the Daily Nutrient Pack. There is a third component to this you can add in for the LLV. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but you can see here, these are all of the benefits that you get from the Daily Nutrient Pack. There's actually many, many more than this, but 17 would be all that would fit on this slide. So you have optimum nutrition, wellness and vitality, healthy hair, skin and nails, brain and nervous system, eye health, lung function, digestive function, liver detoxification. Those are profound health benefits. And most people who have already tried either the Daily Nutrient or the Lifelong Vitality can feel the difference. So for me, I started taking these supplements in October of 2014. And, you know, they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, which kind of blew my mind. But I was like, whatever. People would ask me about them. I would blow it off because, in my mind, an essential oil company had no business making a supplement. So my goal was to take them for 30 days and then send them back to the company. And I could confidently tell people that they did not need to order these supplements. And since I'm teaching this webinar, I'm guessing that you know that I have taken them every month since October of 2014. So they've made that big of a difference for me. So the key is to make it a habit. Most people split theirs into 2 servings twice a day. When you get up to the full dosage, you're going to be taking 4 capsules of all 3 of the vitamins. We haven't talked about Alpha CRS yet because that wasn't reformulated. But Alpha CRS is your cellular vitality complex. It's going to help your body regenerate new cells, slough off old cells. That's what really helps with my energy level. I did try to bump down to the Daily Nutrient Pack to save some money, but I really noticed a lack in energy for me. So I added back the Alpha CRS, which makes it the full Lifelong Vitality Pack. That has things in it like turmeric root, it has milk thistle, green tea leaf extract, pomegranate fruit extract, pineapple extract. All of those things are great for energy and stamina. So it also has a tummy tamer component to it as well. So all 3 of those can be taken by men, women, teenagers, people who are pregnant and nursing. And we actually give our older children, we have twins that are almost 10, and our oldest will be 12 in August, and they all take 1 of the Z Omega and the Microplex VMP as well. So if you go back to this wellness pyramid that we've been talking about, we have addressed a healthy foundation of eating right. That is what the Daily Nutrient Pack and the Lifelong Vitality Pack are going to give you. And honestly, your oils are going to work better. When you have a firm foundation of nutrition, your oils are going to work better. The Lifelong Vitality Pack, like I said, is all 3. It has the new Microplex VMP plus the new Z Omega, and the alpha CRS was unchanged. So the alpha CRS is targeted at immune benefits, energy, and occasional aches and pains. It's what you want to keep taking if you are someone who needs, like I said, energy, focus, stamina, things like that. All right, so that's what's going to set a firm foundation. The smartest way to purchase your supplements is on the Loyalty Rewards program, because you'll get points back and you can redeem your points for free oils. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some further supplements that doTERRA has, and many of these you can add on to your LRP for a very reduced cost. So the first one I want to talk about is Terrazyme. Terrazyme is a digestive enzyme. It helps deliver balanced and comprehensive blends of digestive enzymes to help support a normal digestive process. Honestly, we all need more digestive enzymes. Anytime you are someone who struggles with food absorption, or if you struggle to break down your foods, any digestive support, Terrazyme is going to be your go-to. You can take it daily to support, like it says, your natural body's digestive processes. It also can help with digestion, metabolism, and your ability to process foods. It speeds the conversion of food nutrients into cellular energy. And I read recently that each of us has digestive enzymes in our body, and once all of those are used up, then you die. And obviously we have a lot of them. So if you add in Terrazyme to your daily regimen, take it either immediately before or immediately after a meal. It's just going to help your body process that food even better, and then you'll be able to live longer, was the way that they threw that out there. All right, this is probably my favorite add-on supplement, PB Assist. So I have taken many probiotics through the years to help balance some digestive and feminine issues that I had, and none of them really did the trick. And so PB Assist is my go-to. I take it every single day. I only take one a day, but you can take up to 3. So this is a probiotic. The thing that makes PB Assist different from any other probiotic on the market. So probiotics were meant to fall into the lower part of your intestinal tract. That's where that bacteria, those acidophilus, that's where they're meant to live. And actually, stomach acid will kill acidophilus. So when you see these probiotics with like billions of CFUs, the purpose in those is to hopefully make it so that your stomach acid doesn't kill all of them and some of them make it into your gut. Well, doTERRA is brilliant. They have packaged their probiotic into 2 parts. If you look at it, it sort of looks like a space capsule. The outer part dissolves in your stomach. It has a prebiotic in it. And then the inner capsule actually goes into your intestines and dissolves into the area where acidophilus is designed to live. So it doesn't have to have billions of CFUs. It just has to have what your gut needs. So it has been really revolutionary for me. It really helps with microflora to maintain that balance. So if you are someone who has an imbalance of intestinal microflora, this would be perfect for that. Anytime you've taken an antibiotic or any other medication that might disrupt your intestinal flora, PB Assist is going to be your go-to. It also can help with GI tract, upper and lower. I know this says particularly to colon and intestines, but it really can help with upper GI support. So keep that in mind as well. All right, Deep Blue Polyphenol. This is your go-to for any joint, muscle, ligament, tendon discomfort. My husband takes this every day, right? Don't you take it every day? Because he has some discomfort in his lower back. And so this is his go-to for that. It has extracts of ginger curcumin. Curcumin is an awesome natural, let me think about how to say this compliantly, promoter of healthy tissue, connective tissue between your joints and your bones. And so it will help make those feel nice. It also has some pretty powerful polyphenols to aid occasional aches and pains and support joint discomfort. It's really great. You can take it on a daily basis, or if you have a really hard workout, or if you're preparing for maybe a really hard workout, if you are a runner or something like that, it can really help ease those occasional joint and muscle issues. All right, Mito 2 Max. This is also another must-have in my house. Now, I do not take this one daily, but if I don't get a lot of sleep, or if I stayed up too late working or hanging out with friends or whatever, and the next day I wake up and I'm groggy, this is my go-to. This is also really good for me to promote blood flow to the brain. If I have tension in my head and neck, I will use this immediately. It's good for cellular and energy production. And actually, when they did the studies on Mito 2 Max, there is no artificial harmful stimulants. What Mito 2 Max actually does is increases blood flow to the brain. So you're not getting this rush of harmful chemicals. You're actually just increasing blood flow to the brain. Do not take it, I would even say, 4 hours before bed. I made that mistake. I had a little bit of head tension and took some to hopefully promote healthy blood flow to my brain, and I did not sleep very well that night. So this is something that I will take in the morning or midday. If I know I'm going to have a long afternoon, I will take some after lunch and things like that. All right, this is the kids' vitamins, and we really did not purchase these for a long time. We had our kids on some other vitamins, and I try to be a bargain shopper and see what vitamins would be best for my kids. I'm sure you do too. And really felt like that I could find them cheaper elsewhere. And one of our children was really struggling with nighttime leg discomfort. We visited our doctor. It was so frequent. We visited our doctor and they did some lab work and everything came back fine in the lab work. And our pediatrician, who's pretty natural minded, said, why don't you try some fish oil? And so I thought, well, you know what, I'll give it a try. I'll throw on some fish oil onto my LRP because it's much cheaper to add it onto my LRP than it was to just order it. So I did. And the first night we gave it to her, she had no leg discomfort. And she was waking up 6, if not 7 nights a week screaming with leg discomfort. And now she takes it every night, and she might wake up once a month. It's just been really revolutionary for us. So we did that for a while, and then I continued to try to shop around to find cheaper vitamins for our kids, and we just couldn't find anything comparable to the nutrients in the A to Z chewables and the IQ Mega fish oil for the kids. So on the left is the A to Z chewables, and on the right is the fish oil. And we tried to switch to a different fish oil, and she started waking up with leg discomfort again. So now we are forever going to order the IQ Mega. So I'm going to have to break these into 2 slides because they have so many benefits. So the A to Z chewables, they don't taste bad. They're not yucky. They kind of resemble, I would guess, sort of like a Flintstone vitamin. I've taken one. I mean, they're not like an awesome snack, but they're decently tasting. They have superfood blends that support overall health and wellness. They have a balanced blend of essential vitamins, including antioxidants such as vitamin A, C, and E, and they have a cellular energy complex of B vitamins. This includes the way that they're blended is very similar to the VMP because they want to make sure that what you're giving your children is easily available to them, the bioavailability. So what bioavailability is how readily available your body is able to consume what you've just put on it. So when you put an oil in your diffuser, the bioavailability is going to vary based on how many drops are in your diffuser and how close you sit to your diffuser and how big or small the room is. When you put an oil into a capsule and take it, your body has a 100% bioavailability to that oil because you have just presented the entire drop of oil into your body. Does that make sense? So bioavailability for your vitamins and nutrients means that it needs to be easily broken down and consumed. And they, both the VMP and the children's A to Z have a very high bioavailability for minerals, including calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and so forth. They're specially formulated to be used with the IQ Mega. as a comprehensive dietary supplemental foundation. They support healthy cell development. They provide antioxidant protection against free radicals, healthy cell and DNA function. I mean, you can read, it goes on. We have really noticed, I've noticed a difference in our children's ability to focus when we do our schoolwork, because we're homeschoolers, when our kids have switched to these vitamins. The IQ Mega, this is the rock star in our house for the reasons I told you earlier about my daughter. They promote healthy cardiovascular, nervous, and immune system function. They support healthy joint function and comfort, and I can attest to that a million times over. They provide important modulating nutrients for a healthy immune system, and they also promote healthy skin. So if you have someone in your house that struggles with skin issues, this would be my go-to. I also have a friend who started giving her son the IQ Mega for focusing at school, and it made a world of difference as well. All of this goes back to function and supporting the brain and the eyes and all of that, the ability for that to grow. Those omega-3s are so crucial to brain development and support. All right, so we've talked about the kids, we've talked about athletes, we've talked about digestive issues, so let's talk about cellular support, okay? Cellular support is supported by DDR. Now, this is not a LRP add-on, but this is something that someone might want to, it comes in a 30 milliliter oil or in pre-made soft gels. And so this is going to be important for antioxidants, healthy responses to free radicals. It'll protect your body and your cells from oxidative stress, balancing cortisol levels, things like that. It's great for a massage, or you can put it into a tea and drink it, or just take a capsule a day. This has lemongrass, thyme, and a bunch of other really powerhouse oils, frankincense, that are going to really help with cellular support. So if you're someone who really needs help on a cellular level, this is going to be crucial for you. All right, now let's talk about women. Now, the bone nutrient is a little bit deceiving because it says doTERRA women at the top. However, the bone nutrient is also optimal for men. I really wish they would take that little green bar off. In fact, my husband takes it every day because it's really great for bone support. It has high in calcium, it's high in vitamin D2 and D3, which help your body absorb calcium. That's also a really crucial thing. If you're just taking calcium, your body may not be absorbing it, and then you're taking it for naught. So healthy bones. We had a woman staying in our home that had fallen and injured one of her bones, and we ordered this for her. And her doctor was actually really surprised at her rate of recovery from taking this. So most women have low bone mass and density and need more nutrients for their bones. And so this is crucial, that I would venture to say that even men who are middle-aged should also be taking this as well. It provides optimal levels of 100% of the recommended daily allowances of calcium and magnesium. Most of us are magnesium deficient. Then there is this beauty. So the women's phytoestrogen is awesome. I could probably teach an entire webinar on the phytoestrogen as well. I listened to a really long talk by a physician, dietitian, who talked a lot about phytoestrogens. And a lot of us are scared by soy. We hear soy and we run for the hills, but actually non-GMO soy provides a really optimal nutritional benefit for us. We all really need more phytoestrogens in our life. We're actually getting them from our environment. The plastics that you drink out of, the air that you breathe, the food that you eat has phytoestrogens in it. And so what the phytoestrogen complex does is it allows your body to absorb nutrient-rich phytoestrogens, because we only have so many estrogen receptors in our body, phytoestrogen receptors. And so once those are full, our body is able to successfully eliminate the extras that we don't need. So by taking this supplement, you are able to fill all of those receptors with healthy, non-GMO, non-toxic phytoestrogens, so that your body is able to slough off all of the other ones that you come in contact with. As a personal experience, My cycles have become consistent. They were never terribly irregular, just off by a day or so. So it has balanced out my monthly cycles. It's also helped with all the other symptoms that come with having a monthly cycle. It's also great for women who are premenopausal or in the middle of menopause, and even perimenopausal. It's really great for that too. It helps support healthy bones, heart, and breast tissue, and it's really formulated to provide some powerful antioxidants as well. The beauty of these three the bone nutrient and the phytoestrogen, is you can add them on your LRP. It's LRP only. You cannot order this anywhere else but on an LRP. As it's called the Women's Health Kit. And you get the phytoestrogen, the bone nutrient, and a bottle of Clary Calm for $69.50, which is also gives you 60 PV. And if you were to buy each of these individually, you would pay $12 more. So I usually order these once every 2 or 3 months. The bone nutrient, it says to take 1 to 2, maybe it says 1 to 3. If you're taking LLV, you don't have to take a full dose. It will tell you on the back of the bottle here. Let me just read real quick. Maybe it's on the, if taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, take 2 or 3. If you are not taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you should take 4. So taking that Lifelong Vitality Pack will make a big difference. I take 1 phytoestrogen a day. You are able to take up to 2 and sometimes 3 a day if you need those. Clary Calm partners with those really well to support hormone balancing throughout the duration of your cycle, and it's also great for women who are dealing with the effects of menopause. So again, we're going to come back to this wellness pyramid. We've talked about eating right. We've talked about how to do that with supplements. And so as you move up this wellness pyramid, you can see that having that firm foundation of proper nutrition, proper intake of the things that you need, the things that your body needs to sustain itself, is going to really have an effect on everything else up that pyramid. Because if your foundation crumbles, you can do all of the other things right, and you will still not feel your best and be able to function at your best level. Your best version of you will not be available to those around you. So that's all I have. I'm really surprised that we got through that in just an hour. So I'm going to stop the recording, and if anybody has questions, I would be happy to try to answer those at the end of this. If you are done and ready to tune out, feel free to do that as well. Thanks for tuning in, to those of you who are listening after this to the recording. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook.